Elliott's new deal, 6 years, $90 million, $50 million guaranteed. It's done here on this Wednesday, September 4th of week 1 of the season, in the books.
I'm so proud of Rap Sheet that he did not tweet secured the bag. I'm really proud of you, Ian. It's all business.
That's
all
great.
business.
So
great.
Good for Ian, good for Zeke. All right, now, I mentioned it. It is week 1. The history, we know it is rich, speaking of money, between the Packers and the Bears. And Randy Moss, he knows all about their history and their rivalry. He's in Chicago, where those two teams kick off the season tomorrow night. So, Randy, look, they see each other twice a year, but they have some fresh faces calling plays for both the Packers offense and the Bears defense. So how has that kind of affected the game planning there?
Well, they don't know as much about each other as you would expect, being divisional rivals, right? I mean, Matt LaFleur has installed a brand new offense in Green Bay. He's a first-year head coach. Chuck Pagano is the new defensive coordinator for the Bears. So what to expect? They don't know precisely what to expect from each other, but they're still looking for clues. The Bears have looked at everything Matt LaFleur did last year when he was the offensive coordinator for the Titans. But is it going to be different with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback than with Marcus Mariota? And what did the Packers do? Do they look at the Bears defense last year? Do they look at the Colts defense when Pagano was their head coach? LaFleur told me that they have even pulled out tape from the last time Pagano was the defensive coordinator with the Ravens 9 years ago. So who has the edge? Is it a wash? Does Aaron Rodgers have the edge because of his intelligence at the line of scrimmage? Rodgers says to expect 35 to 40% of what insiders call unscripted looks, meaning surprises. He says that's one of the beauties of week 1 of the NFL, especially this week. And he said in situations like this, Colleen, players just have to fall back on their fundamentals and their execution. Should be a lot of fun.
Interesting. All right, Randy, thank you for that. So Aaron Rodgers looking to fall back on the fundamentals coming in here for this kickoff game. He's obviously playing with a new head coach for the first time since 2006. We're going to finally see that in action and full display on the field. And the Packers are downplaying the whole lack of preseason reps and things like that. They're saying it won't be an issue. But what do you expect from Aaron Rodgers in this offense?
I expect success. I expect him to light up defenses. I expect him to prove to be one of the best quarterbacks. We kind of took him off that Mount Rushmore early in his career before the injury and, some of lackluster seasons over the last handful of years. We kind of thought to ourselves, well, he isn't necessarily Andrew Luck or Brady or Russell Wilson. There's still people that think he's the most talented quarterback, the most physically gifted quarterback, has some of the best vision, but because their team hasn't fulfilled success and expectations, I think we kind of took him off. But with all that said, I liken the preseason to getting to know somebody before you move in. The quarterback doesn't know his head coach as well as I would like him to. There's certain things you can work on situational football in the preseason, and it's going to rear its ugly head. Hopefully it doesn't happen tomorrow night, but it could, though, because Aaron Rodgers, let's call it what it is. And this may sound bad because they're two buzzwords, but he's a little bit of a control freak because he's so damn good.
There's a show on another network, a competitor, called Speak for Yourself. And Burleson, I'm going to tell you, speak for yourself. I have never taken Aaron Rodgers off Mount Rushmore. He's still on Mount Rushmore. It's him, it's Brady, it's Breeze, it's Roethlisberger, and now it's Mahomes. And this guy is about to tear up the league yet again. I don't want to hear anything about offseason stories, about audibles or everything else.
No.
He is refreshed, he's energized, and intellectually he is challenged by Matt LaFleur. I don't know what we're getting. They could be a struggling team this year. It might take a while, but I know Aaron Rodgers is going to be at the top of his game. And I never took him off Mount Rushmore, Nate. Speak for yourself.
Wow. Okay, all right.
It's good, Peter. I think that was a good thing. Let me just say this. There's so much focus on this divorce from Mike McCarthy and how much, he's going to miss him. I'm a child of divorce. It's a difficult thing, but let me tell you, when you move on to something fresh and something new, it is extremely invigorating. I mean, this is by the numbers. It is a young, talented thing that Rodgers is moving on to. It happens all the time. I think he is going to be not only motivated,
It's fresh. It's new. We're talking new stuff. You know, we're going new places. I'm getting a convertible. Don't you think this is what he needs at this point? And a guy like Matt LaFleur, the quick background, he's been involved in the Matt Ryan Falcons, the RG3 Redskins, and the McVay Rams, 3 of the greatest, coolest offenses of this last decade. Just wait. I think it's going to work. But I will say tomorrow night, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be on the run a lot.
Well, I was gonna say,
a lot. With that pass rush and that Bears defense, we're going to have to see if he does that outside the pocket ad-lib stuff on the run, because they are going to come after him big time. But he just found himself, I don't know, a 26-year-old publicist, and it's cool, and they're having a good time. Trust me, it works.
One quick note on Chuck Pagano. He interviewed for that Packers head coaching job, so he did all the work on the Packers. He was studying them all season. Finally gets that interview, doesn't get the gig, goes to Chicago. So he's already put his work in on the Packers as much as LaFleur has put his work in on.
That is a tough matchup for Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur. I think for that, I mean, you think about the spotlight that's on that game, the kickoff on Thursday night, and then you have that Bears defense waiting for you.
Hey, it's playoff implications already.
I know. Week 1.
Let's go. It is almost kickoff time. It is also time to talk fantasy. Who's in your lineup? Presented by the Capital One Venture Card. For that, we go in the shadow of Peg Bundy, our own Kay Adams. Kay, there is so much to talk about with you, but let's talk some fantasy first. Love and marriage. What do you got, Adams?
Love and marriage. Thank you so much, KB. Yes, it is time for Who's in Your Lineup, Capital One Venture Card. And let's talk Zeke. Let's just do it here. He's definitely in my lineup. First of all, congratulations to everybody who waited and drafted him 5th overall, 6th overall. Some people got him with the 10th overall pick in the first round. You're getting congratulated, and deservingly so, because you have to play him. People are going to say, how much is he going to play against the Giants? I'm not going to be the person that goes in my league, takes Zeke Elliott out of the starting lineup, and puts him on my bench. I cannot do it. This is a guy who I know is going to at least have 1 touchdown in this game, if not 100 rushing yards off the jump. What does that mean for Tony Pollard? I don't think you should drop him necessarily. We don't know how Zeke's going to look. This is a perfect handcuff to have, and you got him late in your drafts. But if there is a guy like Devin Singletary or Frank Gore, you might want to drop Tony Pollard. I would understand that move for the upside, given that Zeke is back. But they just paid him this record-breaking money. They're going to use him as much as they can. Zeke Elliott is a talent that I cannot not play. As far as Tony Pollard, I definitely wouldn't play him unless I was really needing him in a flex position. But because it's the first week and you're going to roll out all of your starters, do not do that.
I'm excited about this because I got Ezekiel Elliott in the 2nd round.
Did you?
Yes!
Zeke and the Cowboys go together like a horse
Victory
and carriage. And he is the horse.
Okay, thank you. All right,
Adams.
we'll talk to you a little bit because there's something really cool you did last night that I'm excited
Yeah,
about.
let's get into it.
But obviously, we got this massive breaking news this morning in Dallas. We'll give you the breakdown on Ezekiel Elliott's new contract.